Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am the Sipping Tea, and today I have a very special commentary video for you. The reason why it is special is because it's going to be on the Type 5 Heavy, which, as some of you may be aware, is a Tier 10 Super Heavy from the Japanese line in World War II. This will be my very first World War II video uploaded onto this channel, so I figured that it would be worth going with a Tier 10 tank because it seemed like the natural progression from Cold War, given that Cold War effectively is Tier 11, 12 and 13. So, with that all being said, let's get into it. So here in my rather large, rather slow, rather derpy heavy tank, I have decided to go into this little gully here, as it will hopefully provide me with a decent amount of protection from the enemy tanks, whilst allowing me to continue to push forwards into the more or less centre area of the map. My idea here is to help support the rest of my team who are in the sort of northwest position, more or less where I'm looking right now, with the hopes that I will be able to either shoot the enemy tanks that cross over from towards them, or otherwise deter them from doing so. So the enemy 113 just took a high explosive round from me, which sadly only did 464 damage, but well, it's better than nothing, so at least we've got some damage on the board. Just saw an artillery shell streak across the sky right there, which is something I am really not accustomed to, given that I play Cold War predominantly, but I am acutely aware that there are two enemy artillery on the enemy team, and so I am trying to prevent myself from being a target as much as I possibly can. I'm looking in the area that I can see the concentration of enemy tanks. There's an enemy light tank, and well, there was an enemy light tank. They've just had a rather bad day, but not to worry, I'm sure they will get over it whilst they are in the garage. Maybe they could have a nice cup of tea. Waiting for that 15-second reload to finish right there as I sort of try and remain at least somewhat mobile in this rather large tank to try and, well, deter any artillery shot. And well, there is another one, a bit like a comet, streaking across the sky, but thankfully not anywhere near me. This position usually, or sometimes can be, quite a strong position because I'm able to move up onto this sort of plateau or hill whilst sort of getting some shots at the enemy, but well, I'm spotted and I need to make sure that I don't get hit by artillery, so it's very much a slow shuffle kind of game. I see the enemy BK, he was able to be shot at for a split second, but yeah, he's not only behind cover but has now gone invisible, so regrettably didn't get the opportunity to shoot and take some of his HP away. This is sometimes what can be, for me, a little bit frustrating about World War II, in that it's a very, very, very slow paced game mode. Compared to World War II, to Cold War anyway. So this is where I'm not too accustomed to it after so long, but I try and maintain this position right here. Unfortunately, the team has sort of collapsed on that side that I was hoping to support, but the chieftain quickly scuttled out from around the corner there. I did manage to shoot him once for not a lot of damage, unfortunately, and well, I managed to bait him into shooting me, and indeed he did bounce. So it's now my turn to move into a position where I can get my gun down, and hopefully, yep, there we go, 560 odd damage right there, which is, I'll take that. That's a happy amount of damage for a high explosive round on a chieftain. He's only got 218 HP left, and in a few seconds, hopefully, it will be set to 0, and indeed, it is. He's gone. That's a heavy, a rather good heavy, in fact, out of the game from the enemy team. The scores are 7-6. One of the enemy artillery is dead, which is very good news for me in my planet-sized tank. But well, as I said, that the scores evened at 6-all, and unfortunately, I feel like I am really not going to be contributing much more, as in this very slow, very large tank, I feel like I am more or less a fixed gun as opposed to one that is mobile. I am spotted. I am trying to hide and get away from any, well, lucky artillery shots. But, well, there we go. That was a rather now unhappy tier 8 that I just slapped for many. I saw the tree fall down just there, so that gave away the VK 72 position before they became visible, and now I've got my gun very much pointed in their direction, because I want to, if they are going to come down, I want to punish them as much as I can. But they're being very coy. They're really not wanting to get on the bad side of my gun. I'm not entirely certain why, as that tank has an enormous amount of armor, and my gun has a very long reload to it, just over 15 seconds. So yeah, that playstyle is a bit strange, but I suppose with them being down by one enemy or by one tank, I can understand. But there we are, they did finally come back around, and, well, I shot them, they shot me, we both hit relatively hard, but he certainly managed to hit me a damn sight harder than I hit him. But because of the height of my tank, I can actually look straight down onto the engine deck right there, and yeah, it does mean that I can actually do a reasonable amount of damage per shot. I have been asking for help from my team. One person says sorry, and well, yeah, I'm very sorry as well, because it doesn't look particularly good for me right now. My my ammo rack got damaged. I used the repair kit. I have managed to get the VK down to, well, more or less 800 HP, but sadly, that is it. I clicked the map rather cheekily, perhaps out of frustration, as the E100 was seemingly sort of sitting there, but no, he of course was moving forwards. I just felt a little bit helpless. Our SU-12254 decides to kill themselves, which is such a shame, because, well, that perhaps has, unfortunately, well, given the enemy the advantage they needed in order to win this game. I'm swapping between different tanks just here, well, and an artillery, which isn't a tank, and okay, no more artillery hate. I'm trying to see if anyone's going to have any chance whatsoever of pulling this off. I mean, it is 3 versus 3, and there it goes. Our artillery just, well, sees the end of their game at the hands of the T-30, and well, I fear that really has put this game to bed. The enemy VK is about to get blatted by the Sturm Tiger, and yep, there we go. Where were you about 5 minutes ago when I really needed your help? Oh dear. Well, it's now down to the tier 8 amongst the tier 10s. Let's park right in front of the artillery and lose most of our HP, because that's how we keep the suspense at peak. The artillery's dead, but our tier 8 tank destroyer has a sliver of HP remaining, and it's got to go up against a rather big gun of the T-30, which, well, has just given away its position as to in our base by capping it, or starting to cap it. Will the G-Saw trundle their way relatively slowly towards the base and hopefully use their stealthy attributes of that tank to their advantage to see if they can whistle it down. Well, only time will tell, I suppose. 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the base cap. Let's see if we can pull this off. I certainly hope so. It would be an awful shame to end it on a negative, but well, it does happen. It does happen. Very, very slowly this tank makes its way towards the base. Will he be able to remain concealed long enough to be able to strip down any of the remaining HP off the T-30? Let's see, he's getting closer, he's starting to become a little bit more well, never mind. That question was answered very quickly by the T-30's gun. Close defeat. Didn't feel that close in the end with a friendly tank killing themselves, but never mind. With a teammate on the enemy team called Electric Cucumber, how can you fail? But there we are, that is the end of the video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.